All right, welcome back to another episode of Thought Frenzy, the podcast that I've been making, and it's been going pretty well. Thank you for everyone supporting so far, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I am here with the legendary Paul Franken, and would you like to say hello?
Hello, hi, that's me. Hi, I'm Paul Franken.
Paul Franken. And you are you're affiliated with the Youngstown Coffee Company, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm an affiliate. Much like you become an affiliate of a gang, kind of. Yeah,
all right.
We rob people, but instead of stealing their money, we actually give them coffee in return. So maybe that's not robbing. We just sell people coffee. Actually, it's totally legitimate.
You just sell people coffee?
It's a totally legitimate business transaction.
It's
nothing like a gang, actually.
Nice. Well, you got me hyped up for the gang part. So, what was your what were you saying your official title is within the coffee company of Youngstown?
Yeah. So sometimes it changes. It just really depends on which words I remember at that particular time. I'm the retail operations manager of things, and really what that means. Is that I'm responsible for making sure that people buy coffee. And so, I do that by whatever means really kind of necessary. I lie, I cheat, I steal, I pillage, whatever has to be done really in the name of coffee.
Like a gang.
Like a gang, yeah.
Like a gang.
Yeah, kind of like a gang. Yeah, you're right, actually.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Listen, don't sell yourself short. You want to be a gang member? Just own up and be a gang member, man. No. There's no shame. I ain't judging.
Yeah, actually, no. I'm the retail operations manager. I am. We work out of the Boardman Havana House. You ever been there?
Oh, I've been to the one in Niles.
Okay.
Tim invited me to the one in Boardman, but we got rained out.
Oh, okay.
We were supposed to play some chess.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, they get real competitive up there.
Oh, I bet.
And some chess. It gets nasty. You could imagine, gang members playing chess. It gets brutal.
Sounds like there's a lot of blood on the line.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And when you're, when you're talking about something as high stakes as coffee, it really does. It just gets people's blood boiling. People are hype. They're on legal amphetamines. Basically, they're all hyped up on legal drugs.
They really are.
They really are.
Wow.
Yeah. When you think about it,
sounding more and more like a real gang, dude.
Yeah. It's cool though because it's really the only, I think, unlike other gangs, the only import that a gang has that isn't, we can get a shipment from Mexico, and the feds, they don't even check the bags because we're just coffee. So
you have it easier in other gangs.
Yeah, exactly.
Too.
That's
wow.
what. Yeah, exactly.
Listen, if you're a gang member, consider the coffee industry because it sounds a lot safer and pretty much the same thing.
Stay out of my territory, though.
Stay out of Paul's territory, though.
This is a warning. Consider this. That's why I came on this podcast. Actually, was to send out a warning to any of my adversaries that are on the streets selling coffee.
Everyone will know his name. Everyone will say his name.
Yeah. So if you have, if you need good coffee, you know where to find it at youngstowncoffee.com.
He is the one who knocks.
And the one who sells and personally bags each coffee bag that you buy. I'll kiss every bag that you buy.
That's cute.
Personally. Yeah, I'll send it out.
You're kind of, not going to lie, though, you're kind of sounding less like a gang member now. But I like it.
I think that really the most gangster thing that I could do is be real about my emotions. Really, is what it is.
Oh, my God, man.
Yeah.
Now this just got super fucking gangster, dude. This just gets... I'm on a roller coaster right now. This has been a wild ride.
Yeah. You think I'm like, one day you're Ice Cube and you're singing, singing. I guess he's a rapper. But you rap No Vaseline. And then the next day you're filming Are We There Yet? Life is fucking... It's crazy.
That's pretty fucking crazy, dude. And yeah, Tim, I'm having Tim on the podcast too eventually at some point.
Okay.
What's his position in there?
Tim is whatever words he can remember to call himself at the time
right.
too. But Tim is, he's the primary contact. If you were to call Youngstown Coffee, Tim would probably pick up, unless I picked up, because I could also pick up. But mostly that's who you would call. Is you would call Tim. They decided that I'm a little too ugly to be the face of the company, so it's Tim's job.
Hey man, you're a cute dude, man. I don't want you to feel that way about yourself, man.
Well, I got no qualms with the way that I look. He's a handsome devil, So
yeah, he is.
I got to give it up to him.
He is. You gotta give that credit where it's due.
Yeah, exactly.
Understandably.
Yeah.
How is this business brought up into existence, so to speak?
So the company's been around for a while, but think of it as kind of like a ship that was it was out at sea and it was doing the boat thing where it was like, it wasn't below the ocean surface. It was still on the surface. But then, this gang of pirates, rolled up on this ship and, it needed a new captain. And, we came on and we have turned the ship around.
Hell yeah, man.
We're
Extreme
doing
Makeover Coffee Gang Edition.
Coffee Gang Edition, yeah, we're doing great. In fact, we're almost doing too good. I don't want to toot our horn too hard here, but we're amazing, we're awesome, and I think that we do the best that we possibly can every day, no matter who might think otherwise, or I don't know why they would think otherwise. But some people suck, I guess. So, just throwing it out there.
I mean, that's facts, man. Some people do suck. I for one, actually have not had this coffee, but that's going to change. I'm definitely going to go down there. And the way you're talking to, I have no doubt, or the way you're talking about it, I have no doubt that this is some good-ass coffee. So
once you get Tim on here, we'll send a bag over. Right. So you guys, I think you see an espresso machine in your...
I have an espresso machine in my kitchen, yeah.
Yeah, we got some good espresso.
Hell yeah.
We got some really good espresso. So
you got like straight beans?
Oh yeah, we got.
Right. I grind them up.
Yeah, we got. We make a bean any way you want it.
Nice.
So, we got the beans.
Do you make green beans?
We roast. So coffee beans are green before you roast them. You roast them.
So they are green beans.
They are green beans.
I thought I was just throwing out a little stupid, little bit of dialogue for goofiness.
You were.
And here I was.
Yeah, right on the money.
Predicting what's true.
Yeah, it's, if you just open your mind, the information just comes right to you, really.
That's what I learned in life, man. Hell yeah.
It just funnels right out of your fucking mouth.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys any of you guys listening are in the area of Youngstown, Ohio, check out Youngstown Coffee Company. It sounds pretty sick, dude. I'm definitely about it. Definitely got to try some myself.
Shouts out Timmy. Shouts out Luke. Shouts out Garrett. Shouts out Tony. Shouts out Caitlin. Shouts out the closet that we work in, that has a giant canvas picture of feet in it.
Hot.
Yeah, it's honestly, I'm not into feet, but that picture is like very well produced.
Yeah,
it's a nice canvas. Pretty toes. What can you say?
Are they painted?
They are painted.
What color?
I want to say red, but it might be like a pink. It's like something on that spectrum.
Like a light red, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that sounds beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Truly.
It is. It's beautiful. It's a work of art.
It's pretty cool, man. It's some magic.
It is magic.
Speaking of magic, segue into our next time. It was definitely a segue. It was intentional. I'm looking at our talking points right now. All right, so let's go over magic.
Okay.
You're a magical man.
I am a magical man.
As I know of.
Yeah.
You got some magic tricks.
I do have some magic tricks. I am. So I guess that's, my business card says that I am a magician and a mentalist. So that I guess you are what you put on your business card, right? So I guess that's what I am. So I've been doing it
Some
now.
Some gurus
for
might think otherwise.
Yeah,
You were not even your mind, body, or thoughts.
Yeah, I am just my consciousness experiencing the magic that my hands are making.
We're the observer of our experiences.
Yes,
enjoying
exactly.
the show.
Yeah, very. It's very transcendental, really, when you do magic. I've been doing it for like probably half my life at this point, 13 years or so. And some people, I feel like magic has this reputation of like being something that a kid would get ruthlessly bullied for, but like I think that I've met,
maybe if they're not Chad pilled,
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess
they're
if
not
you
based
just
enough.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I am pretty hardcore, and basically a natural role model. So I think that kids really just maybe looked up to me because of how powerful I was. But I didn't have any problem, making friends and hanging out. Thankfully, I think that a lot of the people that I know, in fact, even to like my fiance, right? She, Abby is, shouts out Abby.
Shouts out Abby.
Shouts out Abby. Shouts out Lily. They're
Shouts
at home.
out Lily.
They're chilling at the crib. But I met Abby in my anatomy and physiology class in the 10th grade. And the first thing that I did, of course, because...
High school sweethearts.
Yeah, high school
That's
sweethearts.
Cool, man. I didn't know that about you guys.
Yeah, we are.
Very cute.
We're fucking adorable. Bro.
Hell yeah, dude.
She the first thing that I asked her to do was if she wanted to see a magic trick, and I was very silly, especially in high school. I was like, I had recently discovered like marijuana, and Abby had no. She was a few years away from ever trying anything like that. Because
you're saying you tainted her.
Yeah, well,
you tainted her with the devil's lettuce.
With the devil's lettuce.
Ooh.
Scary. Some people, some people pray to their God. My God is drug, sex, and rock and roll. And so I converted her to the house.
Metal.
Yeah, the house of pleasure, over here.
Hell yeah.
And it all started after a magic trick in the 10th grade, and now we're gonna live happily ever after. So
hell yeah. So out of that magic spawned a whole new kind of magic.
Yes, the magic of childbirth.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And what kind of magic trick was it?
The conception, is that the?
No, I was talking about the first magic trick you showed. No,
I was like, that was a pretty
show it
magical
on me
time.
right now. I'm spread open. I'm ready.
Yeah, if you want, I could give you a demonstration.
All right.
I mean,
yeah.
That's we'll save that for you should save that for the Patreon.
Yeah, I gotta shave. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Honestly.
Yeah, but we'll keep that for Patreon content for sure.
Yeah, my shit's looking like a mushroom in a grass patch. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah, it's dense.
See, I shave maybe like occasionally. Like sometimes I'll let it grow out to be like a forest for like a year or so.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'll shave it like completely naked.
Okay.
And then like I'll like maintain it for a little while, and then like over the next year I'll just like shave it up a bit. I know I shouldn't shave it because then it itches, but like I don't really care because I like the way it looks when it's naked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like, that looks like some smooth shit.
Yeah.
And it just kind of feels worth it for me personally. But even when I got the jungle, I'm like, it kind of brings out those Wook vibes in me too.
I have it's kind of weird for me because I have like hair from literally the top of my head to like the fucking last knuckle on my toes, so it's like it's almost weird for me if I'm fully bald. Yeah. It's like.
See, I don't have any chest hair.
Really?
Yeah. Look, I mean, you've seen it. My buttons are undone at the top of my shirt here. Oh yeah, I would. It's moments like these where I wish that I could have just bitten the bullet and bought a nice camera and have like visuals for my podcast, because I just want everyone to be able to see this beautiful Sasquatchian torso that I
Yeah.
just witnessed. It was truly a sight to behold.
I have some pretty luscious chest hair.
It is very nice.
It's very soft. It's weirder. It's softer than you would think.
I would comb it.
Yeah. It feels good.
Hell
feels
yeah.
good to get combed.
Hell yeah. Now with the magic though.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is magic? What would you say it has done aside from life situations, but the internal? Well, I mean, first of all, are these tricks or are these real magic?
Yeah, no. So anybody who is, a student of illusion, I don't know how to, I don't mean to make it such a grand fucking thing that I'm trying to say, but basically to differentiate it from actual magic, this isn't no magician that does what I do would proclaim to be having any kind of supernatural powers, right? Like it's kind of frowned upon.
Damn it, Paul, you're ruining the illusion. I wanted to hear you say this is real magic. I thought you were a magical guy from the great deities of magic.
Yeah, I have learned from some of the great deities of magic, but they are at the end of the day just mostly men.
Just men.
Just men. They are,
but a mere mortal.
They are. Now in magic, you kind of you stand on like the shoulders of the giants that came before you. So, while I am not necessarily the world's biggest David Blaine fan, for example, right? Mm-hmm. His what he's done for magic is undeniable and unmistakably, deeply impactful of the art form.
Here, pause real quick. I'm about to sip from this water. Are you going to want water at any point? So I got one bottle out here, and I can waterfall it if you're weird about like my mouth being on this water bottle, because some people are, and it's cool.
Now, I thought I had a water coming out here.
Do you want this water?
No, that's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll just
I care about your rehydration.
No, that's fine.
All right,
that's fine.
I want to sip this water.
That's
then.
fine.
All right, continue.
The magic is just one of those things where you stand on the shoulders of giants. The thing that keeps the art alive is the creatives, who some of them make a living contributing to the art, and so which is why that like the other thing that's like a massive no-no besides pretending that you are some kind of like spiritual deity is exposure of magic. So exposure, as defined by like the International Brotherhood of Magicians, is more so about the idea of like, so posting a video about how to do a trick on YouTube, that's exposure. But doing something where like, like Abby, for example, right? She sees everything that I do. I almost feel bad for her because it's been like 10 years since she's seen a finished magic trick, like for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, because she's seeing it like as I'm trying to practice for people, and obviously that's something that takes practice to do before you do it in front of like real live audiences. So, but to say that like showing Abby that isn't considered exposure. So being, the magicians, I think, are mostly reasonable bunch. Although I guess that depends on who you ask. For the most part, all they want is credit for their contributions, and for you to not be a jackass when you're watching them do magic. So those are pretty much the biggest, like, I don't know if you call them principles, but like concerns of a magician would be those main things. And that's like, it seems silly, but magic is really one of the oldest kind of like
arts.
Like arts. And when you talk about, I don't want to say like a secret society, right? Because I'm not claiming, like, we're not the Illuminati, but in regards to like what are people keeping secrets, like, there are conspiracy theories about a lot of different groups like that, and magicians aren't doing anything crazy like that. They are just, again, some of these guys are feeding their children by contributing to the art. So they can get a little defensive when it comes to people not being nice about following the rules. That is not exposing and just making people's lives hard while they are fucking performing. So don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
don't
be
that guy.
Assholes are pretty dumb, man.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, it's gotta be a real cool feeling to show magic tricks to your daughter, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, I always try and be like, the idea of having kids right now is a bit too soon for me. I feel like I need to get some more stuff preparated, but, like, when other kids are like, Justin, and they think I'm really cool, it's like I kind of like that fatherly energy.
Yeah.
Or at least that, like, cool Uncle Justin energy, you know what I mean? Like I try and be that for, like, my friends' kids and stuff, you know? And if I could pull out some magic tricks, that'd be fun.
Dude.
I could understand the feeling that would come with that.
Yes, yeah. So it's funny about magic with kids because kids are either now, and to their credit, like when I was younger, I was bad at choosing the magic that I wanted to do for kids, and because of that, kids are totally capable of being little fucking dicks. Okay. Every little kid has that potential in them, and it's, I don't know that kids are, some of them, I don't know, most of them, I hope, aren't being necessarily malicious, but they're just being kids. Like, they're just saying things that, like, the classic kid line of, like, I've seen it, pick a card. Oh, I've seen this trick before. Get fucking bent in hell. I want to kick every little kid in the face that's ever said that to me.
Fuck those kids, man.
And I would even wait until they turned 18 so I could just not, I could do it and not, like, be assaulting a minor. That's how much vengeance and rage is built up inside of me, really, about it. Still, after all these years, and it's been years, but since I've really performed for kids, but they're so, besides, like, Lily, obviously, but kids are either very bad because they don't want to sit and, like, follow a plot. Like, if you're trying to explain, like, here's the way things are. Oh, they changed. It's magic. And some kids just don't understand, like, there's no object permanence, I guess. They don't understand that, like, if you change a 2 of diamonds into a 9 of clubs, like, they're just like, yeah, fuck you. Like, what does it mean? Yeah, you had a 2, now you have a 9. Get bent. Nothing happened. There's no, like, thing connecting. You know what I mean? There's nothing. Right. So kids are very
not
difficult.
Every kid's into the magic tricks, but
yeah,
it's
or even
not
like
you
able
can
to
aim.
Like understand them. You know what I mean?
Right, but it's not like you can aim for a specific demographic of kids. You're just going to show magic trick to kids.
Right.
No kids decide on their own to come see the magic trick.
Yes.
So that could be pretty difficult.
Yeah,
because you got some non-magic fans there.
Yes.
It's like if you went to, like, a comedy club and everyone there was just brought by someone else, and some people just hate comedy. Not everyone's going to be into the show.
Yeah. Yeah, they and it is exactly that, except for most of the time kids have less, like, social graces. So they'll get shitty. Like, they'll just be like, you suck and I hate you, and your father thinks you're a failure and nobody loves you and your dog hates you.
Damn, these kids are hurtful. Fuck, I didn't realize you had to go through this shit.
Yeah, you should, if you ever are the magician at a children's summer camp, you'll see how brutal they get. The Yo Mama jokes are insane. They've invented new ones that, since I've been on the Yo Mama battlefield. There's new zingers, and the internet has proliferated them. And also now, Gen Z, they'll just dox you. The last Yo Mama joke I heard was just the kid's mom's coordinates. That was it.
The kid's mom's coordinates.
That was it.
Fuck.
Yeah, and then he said, your mom drives a black Ford Focus. she drives 25 minutes to work and from work every day, and your house is unguarded from the hours of 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And your dog is brindle and is not very big and probably wouldn't put up a fight for me.
Sounds like you need to recruit these kids into your coffee gang.
Yeah,
dude.
my coffee. Yeah. So funny thing about the big idea board that we have about just like things we're trying to accomplish is that child slaves is actually one of the objectives. In that we're not really trying to hire. Well, I guess you don't hire slaves. Do you? I mean, I don't know what are the nuances of what's technically slavery?
I mean, you have to pay them in food to keep them alive.
That's true. That's true. I guess that's the only cost. That's the only overhead when you're hiring children. But child slaves, yeah. Well, we really just want to get into school fundraising and stuff like that. But that is the way that we worded it on our big idea board, because child slavery, as a concept is kind of funny, but as a reality is pretty sad. So it's
it's funny to laugh about fucked up shit.
Yeah.
I've gotten in trouble with that before because dude, I don't have much of a filter. I will say the most fucked up shit as a joke, and I think it's funny, and I think that's kind of what humor is, to say the things that are no-nos to say.
Yeah.
But I mean, shit. I just think the Minions movie would be way funnier if they had a scene where they were all in turbans and flying an airplane and going all over their heads, over each other's eyes and shit, and they go into the World Trade Center. That's some fucked up shit that you never see in theaters. But goddamn, would that be so therapeutic?
Is that the Minions? So instead of working for the villain Gru, they work for the villain Saddam Hussein. Is that a prequel?
Yeah, but Saddam Hussein looks like Gru in the movie. Okay. To kind of wrap it all up.
And it's still voiced by Steve Carell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's got a Middle Eastern accent. It all works out. If they put me in charge of Illumination Studios, I'd be like, all right, fuck all this shit you're working on. We're working on Minions. Ground Zero.
Yeah. We're gonna order 10 more Minions movies.
Yeah.
The Minions go to the Middle East. The Minions go to Russia. The Minions then defect to the Ukraine. Could be the sequel to that movie.
Ooh, yeah. Or we can do a little prequel too alongside with that, where there's a Hitler minion. I
feel like Gru, is he not? Is he Austrian or something? What is he?
I think he's Jewish.
He's Jewish? Okay.
I don't know that.
I don't know that either.
Awesome. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I think I saw the first Despicable Me and nothing else.
Yeah, me too.
And that was years ago. But there's actually a theory that I came up with myself to look at a real world through a conspiracy lens in this new way. I believe that maybe there is a chance, who knows, that our entire society, our entire globalist society behind the Illuminati is minions. Yeah. The minions are controlling everything, and they're even forcing us to spiritually worship them by creating movies about themselves that we all come to see, nice. And it's working.
So you mean that the Despicable Me movies are
it's propaganda?
Yeah,
yes,
state-sponsored propaganda.
Yes,
the minion state, the deep minion state,
Imagine if that really happened. Who'd have thunk?
Do you think that in that universe where there's the deep minion state, are the minions responsible for overturning Roe v. Wade in that dimension too?
See, I feel you segueing in a certain direction while I was simultaneously segueing in the other direction.
Okay. Well, what do you want to? What's the direction you're in here?
I had planned out. Speaking of conspiracies, let's talk about this Higgs Boson particle.
Yeah.
But I can also talk about Roe v. Wade first.
Okay. Well,
We'll flip
what
a
the
coin.
fuck's more? What's what?
I'm gonna take my
really
shoe
is there
off.
to say about
Listen, I'm gonna take my shoe off. I'm gonna throw it. All right. Heads, Roe v. Wade. Tails, the Hadron Collider. Tails.
That's tails.
Hadron Collider, then.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, how about that Hadron Collider? Hold on, let me pick my shoe back.
Yeah.
There's lots of nails in my garage. I'd hate to forget that I don't have this on.
Yeah, that would make for a crazy edition. That would make for a crazy episode.
Talk about a blooper reel. All right. So, what's your take on the whole? For those watching who don't know, supposedly, in this company in Switzerland, based in Switzerland, Cern. Wait, did I forget the name?
It was CERN. Yeah, so Cern. I would
Cern.
imagine CERN.
Okay. It sounded right when I said it before.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't sound right.
No, Cern. I mean, if it's pronounced some other way, we're gonna mispronounce it the whole time because that's how I think it's pronounced too.
Okay. Well,
We can go all in on that
let me
if
Google
you
it.
want.
How do you
I'm
spell
down
it?
to just be wrong.
Cern?
CERN.
CERN.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were right. Okay, all right. So CERN, this company based in Switzerland, mind you, also fun fact, is apparently a company that sells information off TikTok to the Chinese government. Is apparently colliding particles. Specifically, they're fucking with the Higgs boson.
Boson.
Yeah.
Higgs boson. Boson.
Higgs boson
BOSO.
particle.
Higgs. Named after Peter Higgs.
Peter Higgs.
Yeah, that's his. He's the one, which I kind of got into a little bit before with you. We were talking about. He's the one that they kind of, built this super collider for. Because he was trying to prove the existence of what is now, I believe, called the Higgs Field.
What is this Higgs Field?
I think the way that it was explained to me, and I'm just really there's just a story that I want to tell, so I'm going to probably butcher the shit out of this science history, I guess. But I believe the Higgs Field is what he had like a theory that. There's a field that causes gravity to happen, the way that it affects space-time or whatever, the fucking, whatever fucking plane of existence he's talking about this field affecting. I'm not exactly sure. It was something to do with gravity. So, without totally butchering that and pretending like I know fucking more about that than I do, they created this super collider for it. And it, and they had done it with testing. They had tested it. They tested things multiple times, and after like fucking 50 years total of like trying to prove, because he was originally in Texas, I think, and then they built the super collider for him. And after like 50 years of fucking research into this, they finally, they do what they were trying to do the first time that this thing was on, because it hasn't been on in fucking a while. And the first time that it was on, I guess they were able to finally prove that in existence. And when they asked him, it's been 50 years, you've been researching this, how does it feel to finally basically prove your life's work? The guy apparently just said, it's nice to be right sometimes. And that was his only comment on succeeding in the goal that he was trying to achieve for fucking half a century. Apparently he was British. And if that is true, that feels like a very British thing.
Very British thing.
To
be right?
Yeah, well, to respond. I feel like that response is the English breakfast of responses to like lifetime achievements. And
I see what you're saying. It's even more satisfying, I'm sure, when it's heard through a British accent.
Yeah, I'm sure that it is. And he's just, the British notoriously dry in their humor and in their just general disposition, and in their breakfast choices. Although I guess baked beans are pretty wet.
I love baked beans, man.
I honestly, something that I haven't come around to like until recently in my life, but they are fucking good.
I think they need to add that to the bean menu at Chipotle. Then I'd actually order beans on my burrito.
Yeah. I accidentally got fucking pinto bean. I didn't even fucking, like they ask you for one ingredient. I'm already fucking, in my head, I'm 3 ingredients ahead. So I am not paying attention. I'm planning this I'm a burrito architect when I'm in that bitch. So I'm planning that out. I'm not paying attention to shit. Once I say the ingredient, I'm expecting you to scoop the fucking ingredient. And I can't remember what the fuck I asked for, but I ended up getting like pinto beans. And god damn it.
Yeah, pinto beans are dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Not about
like
pinto
a nice,
beans. They're
wet,
okay,
sloppy burrito.
but they're not. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's like, I need that fucking lubrication.
Yeah. The queso does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the queso fucking does. God damn.
Yeah, but yeah, burritos, man. Good time. But to rewind back a bit on the Higgs Boson particle.
Yeah.
So the thing about that though, with what's going on is at the time that we're recording this, yesterday supposedly they destroyed the universe, and given are you familiar with the quantum immortality theory?
Quantum immortality.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay, let me explain quantum immortality theory real quick. So let's say you're walking down the street, you get hit by a bus, you die. Your brain can't process your own death. So from your perspective, even though you died, your consciousness, moments before you got hit by the bus, shifted into a parallel universe where your body did not make contact with that bus, or you at least survived the hit.
Okay.
Whichever or.
Yeah.
So in that sense, we never die. We just keep experiencing. And we're always shifting universes when we die. So if they destroyed the universe yesterday, then all of our points of awareness, our collective consciousness, has been collectively shifted into a parallel universe within the multiverse, where it's just like ours from before, but probably a few more new Mandela effects.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so do you think that the scale at which, so say that it did happen, right? Because that's the whole, is this the whole, I guess, point here as to what about, like, what if that happened? Is that what you're...
Yeah, it's mostly like a what if, because obviously we don't have full confirmation, nor would they truly confirm it if they were doing it.
Right. Well, that's,
But some interesting food for thought is Stephen Hawking, before he died, he publicly made a statement of concern towards Cern.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, okay. I find it funny that I said Cern at the end of this last syllable of concern.
Wow.
Maybe it's called Cern because it's concerning.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, everybody.
But anyway,
what are you doing today? Getting real cerned.
Right.
We're really concerned.
We're getting real cerned right now about Cern. So Stephen Hawking said that he was concerned that Cern, about them messing around with the Higgs Boson particle, which is...
I think he said, I am concerned.
I am concerned about... Yes, just like that. Because he said that based on his knowledge, and this is the smartest dude of our time, possibly for the smartest dude in all of humanity, he said that what they're doing with this God particle, known as the Higgs Boson particle, could destroy the universe. So that's a little weird. Yeah. Also, this particle was discovered in 2012, which is when the Mayan calendar ended, which makes sense if that was supposed to be the calendar to the end of the universe, and our universe actually did end.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are all obviously nothing confirmed.
So, as obviously everybody who had to live through 2012 knows that, everything's just gotten progressively worse since that happened, that year. Do you think that this time, when they turned the Cern on do we get to go back to the main timeline now? If it happened in 2012?
Well, the main timeline would be gone.
Gone forever.
Supposedly.
Okay,
I'm no expert.
So it was destroyed. So instead of like a branching kind of like potential for timelines, it's, when you make, instead of a branch going out in opposite directions, one is just, it doesn't. That direction it goes in is the only direction it goes in, and it's because of that event.
Yeah, because supposedly, and again, I have no idea how any of this shit works, but from the research that I've done online, what they did at Cern was take these particles and dial them back to moments before the Big Bang, whatever that means.
TiVo and then, for atoms.
Right, and then I guess collided them, which would create a new Big Bang, which would destroy our universe and put us in another one.
That
supposedly.
Was the concern with like black holes and things like that too.
Yeah, because they're concerned about CERN making black holes.
Yeah. Now, so as far as, for anything to be, I guess, what could CERN possibly gain from destroying the universe a couple of times? Like, is this like a method of like population control? Is it what the hell's going on with that? Who's responsible for this? Is there an agenda being pushed here?
Are you talking about the Higgs Boson particle colliding or the black holes?
Yeah, well, so I mean, the theory of the universe ending is that, like, is he gonna be doing that for like gain? It
could be done to control our timeline.
Okay.
To put us in a position where we're easier to be controlled, maybe. I could theorize all day.
And I guess
really,
if your like population is, if you're like expendable, like if you've got like a population of sheep, do you care if you lose a herd of sheep in a fucking explosion or a fire? Like, man, I don't know.
And it's hard to say, really, but I mean, maybe which universe we go to next is being guided and directed. Maybe these people in charge of these decisions above the workers at CERN have some sort of interdimensional knowledge we don't know about.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And is that like, and I mean, those people above that, are we thinking that's like a governmental force? Like this is like an MK Ultra experiment, but like really. I mean, they work
crazy. directly with world governments. So
like a new world order.
Yeah. I'd imagine if there is a new world order reigning in, that CERN would have something to do with that. Because I mean, again, mind you, they're also selling private information to the Chinese government.
Gotcha.
So
is it China all along? Is that the key takeaway from everything?
I mean, see, it's a rabbit hole that you can go down forever, because I could say yes, I could say it's us, I could say that there is a force behind all the world governments that is just kind of putting on a display of like, oh, let's make them think that there is these politics going on and they're worried about other countries and stuff, when really there's like one puppet master that's like, I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that this time around, I don't know if glad's the right word, but I'm glad that this time around that at least they're not, introducing crack into the inner cities. I don't know. You got to take your wins where you can get them, right?
Oh yeah, at least they're not doing that.
Yeah, they could be. At
least they're taxing the rich too.
Yeah, they could be, targeting minorities in illegal, law practices.
Yeah. And they could be pitting us all against each other within a two-party system, but they'd never do that.
They never do. They would never do that.
They would never do that.
Nobody would do that.
Yeah, no one in their right mind would do that.
Nobody would.
You have to be a real piece of shit, And there's no pieces of shit out there.
No, and that's what...
These people got their positions because they're hard workers.
Yeah.
They didn't pay people to get to where they're at. They're hard workers. We need to respect all these people. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely,
and that's what happened when the super collider turned on, is that we entered the universe, the old universe where bad and shitty things died. The new universe where everybody lives as just a ball of energy can now be born. So welcome, everybody.
Welcome to your new life.
Welcome to your new life.
We're in a new universe. However different it may be, we hope you like it. Because you're here to stay until they do it again.
Yeah, I hope that everybody in this universe gets to live free from disease and financial worry.
Yes.
We need healthcare, and we need more access to experimental drugs.
Yes, that is very true. But another thing that I wanted to touch base on was, so I feel like, after this life, or the way things work, I feel, especially with like law of attraction, is you attract what matches the frequency of your energy.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of people... who are more spiritually minded suggested that during that time yesterday, we stayed sober, maybe meditate, and keep your vibes up, so that if you do get transported to another universe, it'll be a little bit better. So now the way I go about conspiracy...
The foreplay of interdimensional travel.
Very well said.
Yeah.
Very well said. I love that. Yes, the foreplay of interdimensional travel. I partook in some foreplay. Mind you, the way I go about conspiracy theories is I don't believe one thing wholeheartedly. I just know life in general is not how we've been taught it is, so anything really could be the case. For all we know, none of this shit's going on. I don't know, but just in case... I definitely made sure to stay sober. I made sure to go out and enjoy nature. Me and Sam took Ruby to the dog park.
Oh, that's
She
nice.
brought some crystals with her, and we gave crystals to people that we socialized with who were nice. And that morning, I cut up some watermelon. We went home and cooked up
watermelon.
Yeah, it was. I shared some watermelon with Paul. He also liked the watermelon. Yeah, and came home, made a nice healthy meal, chicken and squash.
How fresh was that chicken?
Oh, it was pretty fresh.
Good.
It wasn't my chicken.
Okay.
No, those chickens back there I'm just using for the eggs.
Okay.
I would hate to kill things myself.
Yeah,
I don't like
feel
killing
that.
things.
I feel that.
But if things are already being killed, I tried going vegan before, but it just didn't work out because like my friends would keep ordering Papa John's pizzas. So I'd be like, well, I'm not gonna let that last slice no one's eaten go to waste. That. So in my eyes, as long as I'm eating healthy,
pizza. Yeah.
But yeah, I ate healthy. I enjoyed nature. I had some like positive, loving vibes in my social interactions. So hopefully, if any of that did happen, I went to a more loving universe, and everyone listening, including you, Paul, you all made it with me. So I think, to be an optimist, I think maybe we're in a better universe.
I think so too. I think that's my hope, is that if the universe ended, that we have, it was a moment of transcendence for the general population,
Mm-hmm.
And so for those of you with, I guess the people that didn't make it, like, sorry, I don't know what to say. Sorry.
It sucks to suck,
it
bro.
sucks. We miss you, but I guess the show must go on. So
it must go on. But I don't fear anything like that. I just try and feel like fear. The only thing to fear is fear itself. Fear is just going to bring you down.
Yes, it is. And generally, most things, fear's kind of a funny thing because it, something that is scary to you today probably won't be scary to you eventually. Like, I feel like there's very little things that I've been afraid of that like I remain afraid of for a long time, whether it be just learning something new that helps me get over it, or just straight up fucking, nutting up and facing your fears and just getting real fucking comfortable in the pool,
Yeah.
Sometimes the pool's cold, you just get used to it. And sometimes, like as a kid, I was really afraid of the dark, and now I don't mind the dark because now I know that there's probably nothing in it. There's
Probably nothing in it, man.
Probably.
That's some growth right there. About a year ago, I would say my only two fears were existential confusion and spiders.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of work since then with the existential confusion and being able to remain grounded and not fearing the possibility that my life is something that, well, really, I can't explain it. I can't explain exactly what I'm afraid of there, but I'm working on that, and it's good. I don't think I'm ever going to go mentally insane, so that's pretty cool. My home has lots of spiders in it.
Yeah.
And it's so bad during the summers that, especially last summer, I was like, I'm not sure if I made a good idea moving in here because there's so many spiders everywhere. But you know what? I've been killing spiders now.
You've been killing them, okay.
Been killing them, and I want to say that I set them free. Still too afraid to like handle a spider.
Yeah.
But I've been killing them as opposed to just like hoping they disappear and going into another room and avoiding that room for a few days,
Yeah. Do you get any crazy spiders out here?
Big spiders, dude.
Seems like fucking you'd have some fucking spiders out here.
We normally get like up to like, sometimes I'll try and take a shower and there will be like 3 like daddy long legs at a time, but thank God they're just daddy long legs.
Yeah, daddy long legs, the pussies of spiders, the biggest, very much the most non-threatening spider that there is.
They're actually the most venomous.
Are they?
Yeah, but their fangs are so small and soft and not meant to break the human skin that it's impossible for them to bite you.
That's cool.
Yeah, but that's a fun fact. Daddy long legs are actually poisonous as fuck, but we're good. We don't have to worry about them.
Thank God.
So
thank
they
God.
don't fuck with us.
And aren't they technically like something else? Like, isn't a daddy long leg like? I don't think that they're actually, because I think they only actually have 6 legs, right?
They have.
They have 8 legs?
I think they have 8 legs.
Well.
Right here, give me one moment. We'll fix something. I got that's Sam's stepdad on the window. They're making a surprise visit for the chickens.
The chickens, they're visiting the chickens. I'm glad somebody's here to keep the chickens company.
Yeah. So somebody that's not just me.
Yeah.
And
well,
Sam,
could you imagine
know.
if
I let them die? And luckily, if I let them die, someone else is going to be here to not let them die. So
that is good.
That is good. But yeah, the actually around this time of day, those white lights, the motion sensor lights outside the garage go off. Lots of little gnats come there, and so that brings in the spiders.
Oh yeah.
So when we leave that door out of this garage, when we finish recording, beeline it, because there will be a spider on the other side of that door, probably this big.
Okay.
And it sucks, but it's helped me get over my fear because they become more normal to me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, and that's growth, and that's all you can really, You just got to try to grow, I guess. That's at the very least, you just got to try.
You just got to try. Make an effort.
Yeah.
Make an effort in the world.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you want to do that Roe v. Wade talk now.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Because it goes in line with recent events.
Yeah, I think, being white men pretty much qualifies us to talk about it. So.
Yeah, because it's my decision what these women do with their bodies.
Exactly.
You know,
And since I think we should
and
use
it's yours too.
Yeah, we should use our position of power for good, right? So
Yeah.
it's fine if we keep the power, as long as we do good with it, I guess.
Yeah. So I think we should do everything within our power to save these clumps of cells, make them, come into life.
Force them into existence.
Yeah, force them into existence so they can grow up in low poverty by parents that weren't ready for a kid. And
maybe enlist in the army.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, I hope so.
Yeah,
we need more men in the army.
Do.
We need more patriotism. Absolutely.
The army is having a recruiting problem right now. They just waived the high school diploma requirement.
Yeah.
To be in the army. So they really, which is great because they really needed to do that.
Yeah. Because I think it's good when people are forced to kill people.
Yeah.
I think we
people
need more
who can't even, get a GED, they should definitely be given wartime artillery and be taught how to use it.
Yeah.
And they've obviously, I'm sure that everybody that the army gets their frontal cortex fully developed by the time they get into the army.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's important. Let me clear this up though and keep everything straight. If I was sent to war during World War II, that felt like a more understandable war. These days, wars, you don't know what you're fighting for in these wars. So why do you want to go out and kill over your country stealing oil? I think we all know that's what's going on right now. So that's
been going on.
If you're a World War II veteran or some shit like that, good on you. I'm not trying to throw any shame your way. It's good to defend your country if your country's a good country at that time. But yeah, fuck
and
all
it's
that
okay
noise right
to
now.
I think the crazy thing about criticism, valid criticism about anything really in general, but specifically we're talking about countries, is that it's okay for a country to have been good and then have gotten bad. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's a bad thing to say, and actually for a time period, we've had, America has had actually some progressive for their time anyway, presidents. We've had some guys that aren't what we've had, just the garden variety politician of the current day. And we've had
shout out to JFK.
Yeah, shout out to JFK. I don't know what the opposite of a shout out is. I guess maybe just a fuck you to Richard Nixon. And
fuck Richard Nixon, dude. He didn't let us do acid.
Yeah, fucking goddamn.
That shit was
Richard
making
Nixon.
us smarter, and
also,
he knew it.
Yeah, it was, dude. It anything to suppress the higher consciousness, right? Yeah, anything.
Absolutely.
Anything to make it so that the scope of your thought is as limited as physically possible. That's why Johnny Depp's divorce fucking hearing was in the news for 4 fucking weeks.
It was a fucking distraction.
Yeah, they were getting ready to end the universe, and we weren't paying attention.
Yep. That's how the cookie crumbles, folks.
Yeah. They were planning on repealing Roe v. Wade, and they were planning on destroying the universe, and we fell for it. Everybody fell for it.
We all fell for it.
Yeah. It was a weird time, honestly. And it was weird because even people that I didn't that I don't know to be into celebrity gossip, because I am, I would say that my finger's on the pulse a little bit more than the average person that I know as far as pop culture is concerned. And right from the beginning, I was like, this is fucking weird. But even people that I didn't know to be interested in that kind of shit, in that realm at all, on the happenings of actors and what have you, were fucking tuned into this thing
because it's all we see. They're programming us.
And it really makes you wonder why it is, as a country, when we watched, because the OJ trial kind of was the first time that news got so sensationalized the way that it is, and that shit was on for 24 hours a day. You turned on news, they were talking about the OJ trial, and like what the fuck is going on? What do you mean? How can we even have an update for 24 hours a day on what's going on in the courtroom?
Like, did he kill the bitch or not? Like, come on.
Yeah. We all know he did it. We all know he did. This is shouts out to OJ Simpson, you fucking murderer. We know you did it.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, you can't fool us. And also, you can't fool us because we see through the deception. I am personally a trained deception artist, and as a magician, so I can realize, you know what I'm saying?
Realize.
Yeah.
Real shit
Ever.
Real shit, dog. But
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We were actually talking about Roe versus Wade. it really took a turn. Back on Roe versus Wade, to get like substantially serious. It's see what I always try and do is I try and understand people that disagree with me, right? Yeah. So I understand that there is a philosophical gray area between like when it comes to like where life begins.
Yeah.
So I think it's silly personally to say when life begins because I mean, especially with my views that are more based around animism, I feel like everything is conscious to an extent. Even a rock is experiencing something, albeit a completely different form of consciousness. And that's just what I lean towards, ideally. There are some other esoteric cultures that believe that life begins at first breath. And then you got people saying it's the heartbeat, and then you got people just saying, oh, well, whenever it looks like it's a person in the womb, I don't think we're ever going to be able to decide collectively when life begins.
Yeah.
So it's really an impossible argument to have.
Yeah.
So it's silly that this is a discussion in a sense.
Yeah. Well, what I think, and to kind of go a little bit off of that, I think it's for exactly that reason, because everybody has a, what they're just depending on what you're subscribing to that day. It's not unheard of for people to change their ideals or personal philosophies or beliefs throughout their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I would call that a totally normal part of just being a fucking person. And so with that, why would we make the definition based off of any one person's understanding of what happens when it comes to life? I mean, and I think that's what, when you have the people who are staunchly, pro, I guess you would call it science, where, life, a fetus is just a clump of cells. It doesn't have it has no autonomy. It can exist outside of the uterus, outside of the womb. It just doesn't have any, it can't fucking live without having nutrients pumped into its body from the host. So on and I'm not even necessarily saying that I believe, any which way, but just why not, can you come to an objective? It doesn't have to be a truth. It just has to be a standard. You know what I mean? We don't have to all agree that life begins at first breath or at conception, as long as we just agree that people have different fucking understandings, and that we're just going to say this is the thing because this is fair, this is objective. This isn't, Jesus didn't tell us this. It's just what we observe in the world that we all live in, and so that's kind of the side of things that I see is the why it doesn't make any sense to me to specify it to anybody's beliefs. It doesn't matter what you believe. Because that's just not fair. Who are you to impose your beliefs on anybody else's actions or bodies or thoughts or feelings or anything?
You want to know what I think? I think that what we need, the one agreement we need to be on at some point in the future of mankind, is to agree that objectively there is no objective truths, but rather an infinite amount of subjective truths that will vary person to person, and we need to respect that. But even with that comes a lot of philosophical gray areas, because who's to say that they believe it's morally okay to kill people in the streets, you know what I mean? So it's really, our reality is chaos. It's a lot of chaos.
Very true.
I don't have all the answers. Paul doesn't have all the answers, but we can say enough to say that quit making your subjective truths the objective law. And I feel like that's enough for people to wrap their mind around.
Yeah.
That's enough for me to say, at least.
And again, I think that's totally fair. I think that's in the part that makes, the pro-life argument seem so, in my opinion, like aggressive and offensive, really, is that it's just an assumption that the way that you perceive things is the definitive truth, when that's not true at all. That's not true. Your truth is, even in, even like within different groups, like if you look at, and I don't know too much about world religions, but in the time in my youth that I spent in the Judeo-Christian church, even within that, there are, you have different denominations, you have different beliefs just for no reason. They just disagree with each other just because they can. They technically agree on everything, but there are like minute details that they just disagree on. So even within, for someone like a Christian, and this isn't supposed to be an attack on Christianity, it's just the only one that I have any kind of relevant or prolonged experience with. But even, for a Christian to claim that that truth is true for them, but the church down the block is, instead of a Baptist church, it's a Presbyterian church. And now all the Presbyterians are going to hell. Why? Yeah, it's just because, I don't know.
Because they didn't believe what I believed.
Yeah, they didn't believe exactly what I believed. And now they happen to agree on on a topic like abortion. But they disagree on things that they also believe will send the other person to hell. So it's like, is it really that different from abortion? Because isn't that the whole thing? Like it's an affront to God. It's something that will get you sent to hell. So it's like, okay, if I'm going to go to hell for aborting a child that I didn't want to like unfairly rip its consciousness from the void and place inside of a fucking body, like why is that such a problem if also the fucking blend of fabric in my clothing could also send me to hell, depending on your interpretation of the exact same fucking book. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's, these are some weird times, because this is really enhanced and dramatized further with the fact that we are all on the internet right now, constantly talking about these topics, or at least witnessing people talk about these topics. And everyone's also on their algorithms and stuff. But like at the end of the day, I just want to see everyone chill out, let people do as they please if it doesn't affect you. And that's what I want. I want to be able to just live my life. Yeah. And that's what we should all focus on. Just living our lives and just hoping for the best for ourselves and our families. And I don't know, we've strayed further away from our center throughout the expansion of our modernized human culture. And it's really sad to see all these spurts and hiccups and explosions amidst the chaos. I believe maybe we'll find a way. I have many theories on how we could get there. But there's an infinite amount of theories that could be had.
Yeah. I think, and that's the beauty of life, right? Is that you'll be the only one that gets to experience this one. So yeah, I totally agree. The ability to freely exist or express in the space and time that you're given on this earth is paramount. It's the only thing you've got. So without that, we are fucking doing a whole lot of nothing. And nobody wants to do nothing. Everybody wants to do something that at least feels important to them, right? Like, a project that we both have made contributions to for a while at different points actually in our lives. This project was being worked on. But that's something that was kind of very near and dear to me. And I don't know how fondly you remember working on Wood Patrol, but the chance that I got to work on it was really fun.
Wood Patrol was a fun time, man. I just remember it was like every Tuesday we'd have meetings and we'd just be passing around a bong, drawing up cartoons. And that was good. Yeah. Tim Ferriss, again, the other guy with the Youngstown Coffee Company with Paul, who I do plan on having on my show later on, maybe next week or whenever he can, whenever our schedules match up. I'll probably hitting him up soon about that. But yeah, Wood Patrol was actually a animated series that he came up with that I helped out with. And in the beginning phase when it was meant to be an animated series. And it actually was featured on Adult Swim's live stream.
Yeah.
And that was some pretty sick progress.
Yeah. I don't know if, which this is kind of related, but it's a little bit of an aside. If you ever, some really cool guys that Tim, because when Tim was on that Adult Swim podcast pitching Wood Patrol, there were some other guys that happened to watch that stream.
Yeah.
And they were also from Ohio, different part of Ohio, but they had seen that stream and they have gone on to, and were since, actually inspired by the work that you guys did with Wood Patrol to create a little thing called Welcome to Melville. Shouts out to the Welcome to Melville guys. Really cool dudes. I've never actually met them, but I have spoken to both of them a couple of times, and they seem like really sweet guys. And if you haven't checked it out, I think they have 2 episodes out, animated. It's an animated. Originally it was called Whales with Legs, but they switched it over to Welcome to Melville. And so a lot of the social media you can still find under Whales with Legs, and I think their website even maybe both of them might redirect to the same place, but whaleswithlegs.com and Welcome to Melville, but. Just as like a quick aside, what you guys were doing had inspired not only the future work that we would do with Wood Patrol, but an actual other animated, and they're doing like rounds in animation festivals and stuff with it. They're doing.
That's pretty cool. I didn't actually know anything about that. No one told me about that one.
Yeah, it's and this is like pretty recently that like within the last year that anything has actually been produced, but they were. So there's a Wood Patrol cameo in the first episode.
Get out!
Yes.
Really? What can we watch this on? Just the website?
Yeah, I believe it's on their website. It might be on like their YouTube or something like that. But if you go to their website or if you find them, you'll be able to find their links and check it out. It's just a short. It's an animated short series, and it's awesome. And actually, their animator is in the Ukraine. And so they work, what's been going on over there has been kind of, closer to home than I think most other Ohioans would consider that particular conflict, that world conflict. Best of luck to the Welcome to Melville is what they're called now, but best of luck to that whole team. They're really good guys. So good luck in life and in navigating what I'm sure is an extremely difficult time for their animator over in the Ukraine. So,
imaginably so, yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching this right now, hey, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's very and so while they were working on producing that first episode was around the time when Tim, Duca, and I picked up. We started doing Stank Magazine, which is a magazine series that we did. We published 4 issues, and in there were 3 different comic book series. The Amazing Davis, which was a story about a little alien kid who deals with the
I like
end
that
of his
one a lot.
universe.
That was actually my favorite one in the Stank magazine.
People, you know what? That was a fan favorite. People really liked, and the cool thing about Davis was that it was the only story that we could finish, in the amount of issues that we had. So, and then we had Fair Fight, which was kind of like, we just kind of thought of things that would be cool to, almost like playing, original Mortal Kombat games where there isn't any dialogue or story. You don't know what's going on. You're just like, these 2 powerful things are just beating the shit out of each other.
It's like those YouTube videos where they are like Super Saiyan Goku versus Super Sonic,
yes,
but
exactly.
it's like not pop culture. It's
Yes.
more like a polar bear and a Viking
Yes,
sort of shit.
exactly.
Just a random example.
One of my favorite one that we did was 2 kids on the playground. Because the whole like concept is that it's like an otherworldly fight that's going, because of course they all are, right? But the loose plot that Fair Fight has is that there's like this interdimensional fight that's going on, and as a representative in that fight, it's called Fair Fight because you both embody things that would have like a fair fight. So like 2 kids on a schoolyard, or we did another one where it was like the Indomitable. You ever heard of Detlov's Pass?
I don't think so.
Very briefly, it was a thing that happened where these hikers went on an expedition somewhere in Russia, and in Detlov's Pass, actually, in Russia. Or it's called Detlov's Pass now. One of the guys there, I believe, was named Detlov. And anyway, they got attacked by something, and nobody knows what it is. It left like radioactive traces around their camp, and these people were like mutilated, like they had been attacked by an otherworldly beast. And so there's a lot you can look up with Detlov's Pass, but we did the Fair Fight, and that was all of the campers versus one like Yeti, and that was the Fair Fight. It was like the fighter took the body of 6 fighters and then had to fight one just big Yeti, And spoiler alert, I mean, Detlov's Pass is technically a true story, so I guess it's not really a spoiler, but they lose. They lose to the Yeti,
Yeah.
the radioactive Yeti. Anyway, so that was Fair Fight. And then finally, we rewrote Wood Patrol, that original script, and we turned it into a comic book series where it lived for several issues in Stank Magazine. So that was kind of the evolution of Wood Patrol. It was a really fun. I wish we're gonna have to. You're gonna have to talk to Tim about because I don't know too. Like I said, like I came really into kind of like it was already a thing. I had read the script like a long time ago. I had read the script, and then once we were like, hey, let's do something, it was like, okay, well, we're gonna do Wood Patrol, right? Like we have to do Wood Patrol. We can't not do Wood Patrol, and so we did Wood Patrol, and that was super fun. All those characters that and that whole premise that you guys came up with was awesome, and a project very near and dear to my heart.
Hell yeah, man. Me too.
Yeah.
Those are some good times. Yeah, things slowed down a bit after the Adult Swim thing, and then I moved to California, and then I came back, and then things kind of took a different form. But yeah, those were definitely some really... What's the word I'm looking for? It was a really good time in my life to really rediscover a lot of my creativity.
Yeah.
It also got me into like writing a script for like a different series. It was called The Repetitive Life of Norm, and like
Okay.
that was really cool too. We didn't do much with it, but just like writing a script, to myself too, was like very therapeutic, and it really taught me how funny I could make something. Because like I always feel like I'm situationally funny, not so much like the type to write jokes and stuff, but like if it's a script, I could actually make a pretty funny script, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'll have to show you sometime. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Any kind of, writing like that, it feels really Like you said, very, very therapeutic. And really, I think it's in script, because I haven't done I wouldn't really consider myself a writer besides I do like script writing. Like, it's fun.
It's fun.
It's a very unique way to write anything, like any kind of story. And it feels to me like it's easier for me. Like, it's not very easy for me to read a book, right, and kind of play a movie in my head. But with a script, those things are way easier to kind of pinpoint and like actually visualize. So there's like a whole different, it's not even just like a creative element where like I'm trying to come up with things. It's like a creative element where like I'm seeing this shit happen in my head. Mm-hmm. And so that's just like, I don't want to use a word that's worse than maybe I need to, but like the disassociation that comes with just really being able to like...
You're in the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly. I mean, I have all these different ideas of how things would look on the screen, fully animated, and how it all play out. I mean, a lot of that too is like shit I remember having when I was like a child. I remember being in like 6th grade history class, didn't absorb any information from my history class because the whole time I was living inside of this fictional world on this fictional planet with fictional species having wars with each other. And I would draw out the maps, I would draw out the characters, and I didn't do it for anyone else besides my own creative pleasure. Just so I could sit there and imagine this series of things happening.
Yeah.
And like that's something I feel like is all within inside all of us that is really therapeutic for the mind. To go back to that almost childlike sense of creativity where everything has color again, that takes you back when you do things like that.
And speaking of specifically childhood kind of stuff, I know that we kind of had on our list here something that we both maybe used for a little bit of fun disassociation as little kids. And really, every time I come back to it, I feel that way about Pokemon. Have you played the new Pokemon? Have you played Legends Arceus?
Yes.
Bro.
That was like how Legends Arceus plays like how I imagined Pokemon looking.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they finally went there. And it's so I remember I literally cried tears of joy, as like fucking nerdy as it sounds, just like as I was playing the game talking to Sam, and I was like, Sam, do you realize what this game is? She's like, yeah, you're playing Pokemon. I'm like, no, but you don't, I don't know if you fully understand, because what Game Freak, the developers of Pokemon, did essentially back in the 90s was they got an entire generation of kids addicted to crack and then stopped making crack fun.
Yeah.
I would still buy the new Pokemon games and I'd play through it with an optimistic mindset, like, oh yeah, this is a good Pokemon game. And then I'd set it down, never touch it again. I look back on it and be like, that wasn't much of an experience.
Yeah.
I just collected the badges. It was easy. Yep. I just mashed Earthquake.
Yep.
I eventually beat it. There wasn't a whole lot to it. And I feel like the entire community of Pokemon fans were just kind of expecting Game Freak to just be like, well, this was what makes us the most money.
Right.
Make an easy Pokemon game with a Pokemon name, and then throw it out there.
Every year
cheap.
until we die.
Yeah, and like it's so sad because Pokemon, believe it or not, is the what's the word I'm looking for? It's at the top of the charts of any other form of media in the world.
Yeah, it is.
Number one.
Yeah.
Like above Marvel, above Disney, it's Pokemon.
And what's crazy is that Pokemon has had because I guess some other forms of media, like you were talking about Marvel, like Marvel has had its eras, right? But Pokemon is unique in that it's happened so fast. Like Pokemon has only really been around for like as long as we've been alive, right? So like within our lifetime, the prevalence of Pokemon has come and it hit the world really fucking hard right in the mouth. And then like 15 years later, it just came back again. It was the absolute biggest possible thing on the planet. And now, like Legends Arceus, that's a game that is. I don't think that it's going to be doing too much to bring in a lot of new players to the series, which is why I think it's still smart to have your main, series game. Mm-hmm. And then, but throw us a fucking bone. I don't care if that's how you do it from now until forever. You do one weird fucking thing for us, and you do one for the sales.
As long as we get something that feels like a real good game.
Yes.
Something among the ranks of because you look at like games like fucking Mario, which are still up there on the charts, but it's lower. But you look at the quality of Mario Odyssey, and you're like, that is a well-made game. Yes. That is a real AAA title. And you just don't see that and say Pokemon Sword and Shield. No. It's just not there. It doesn't look good. It doesn't play good. It's bad. It's not that great of a game.
It was for a while there, because for my whole life, thinking about having children, one of the things that has felt important to me to actually pass down to my children is I don't know, this addiction to Pokemon that I have for some reason.
I want to pass that down to my kids too. Yeah. That shit was tight.
And just because I know it changed my life the day that I opened my Game Boy, and it had the first copy of Pokemon that I owned, which was Pokemon Crystal. That wasn't the first one I played, but that was the first one I owned myself. And
I had Crystal too. I started with the Yellow though.
Okay, I played Yellow second. That was the second game that I played.
So flip flop.
Yeah. But I'll never forget that fucking that moment in my life. I'll take that with me, hopefully to my grave. That memory, and so because of that, I don't know if I want. I don't it doesn't have to be that impactful of a moment, but it is something that I want to pass along. And for a little bit there, I was like, am I gonna have to be I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that way, and I don't want Lily to grow up and me be like, well, fucking Pokemon games, they was better back in the day. These fucking Pokemon. I don't want to fucking be a Pokemon boomer. I'm just trying to.
You call those Gen 1ers.
Yeah, Gen 1ers. I'm not a Gen 1er. I want to like new Pokemon, but ever since after the 5th generation of Pokemon,
that's when it happened. It's when they moved the 3D.
Yeah,
it just felt very hand-holdy.
Very hand-holdy, and
Black
also
and White
very
were beautiful games.
They were, dude. I remember playing those, and there was the one bridge that they changed the perspective on when you crossed it, and that shit blew my. I was like,
me too, dude.
Oh my god! And by that time, we're well deep into 3D. 3D video games are a thing. People had. People had, and for years at that point, and they were prevalent, and AAA games were being made, but there was something about seeing on the DS, Pokemon do that, and it was whoa, oh my god.
That's the thing. Actually, that makes modern Pokemon games awkward, is because Game Freak has always moved Pokemon in a very slow-paced direction, to where when we saw the camera angles moving in Pokemon Black and White on our DSs. In fucking 2011 or whatever it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And that could have continued, things like those could have continued to feel like a big deal, but once they move 3D, it's you're thrown in the world of being compared to all these other 3D games.
Yeah.
So if you're going to move to 3D,
do it.
You have to really go all in for it,
And that's what you think historically with other games, you mentioned Super Mario Odyssey, but the first game in that kind of line of Mario games, Super Mario 64, that's a fucking leap into 3D. You know what I mean? That is a balls to the walls. We're here. We're in 3D for the first time, and we are fucking proud. And we're putting it all out there because we've made the jump. It has to be monumental, right? And yeah, Legend of Zelda, Mario, and then for some reason. For Pokemon, they were well, let's not.
Let's just go baby steps like we have been, and they'll be wowed at the 4 polygons on this tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't really work like that in 3D. But I mean, Legends Arceus is definitely a step in the right direction. Albeit though, Legends Arceus still does not look as great as the other games.
No.
It doesn't. It's still not fully open world. It's more like
kind of like Monster Hunter. If you ever played that game, where it's like map based. It's still map based. Like, I mean, they're big. They're kind of big areas, but
I should play Monster Hunter.
It's a good. I've only played a little bit of it, but it's a pretty good game. And it's got like a lot of cool shit. Like I like looking. Like the aesthetic of Monster Hunter is awesome. Like all the weapons and stuff look fucking great. But yeah, Pokemon is great, and I hope that they continue making that shit good, so that I don't have to just cut Lily off at the end of the DS era of Pokemon games. I'm glad that there's now games that I can be like, yeah, you can play, and not that I would never deter her. But I wouldn't, I definitely wouldn't start anybody on Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'd be like, I wouldn't play this motherfucking game series either.
Yeah. I mean, a kid might enjoy it, though. Yeah. I feel like when you come to a certain age, it's like you expect more out of a game you spend $60 on.
Yeah. Once you understand the value of $60, it does really start to fucking chap your fucking cheeks when it comes to not having enough fucking I was really worried about them not including every Pokemon in Legends, but I think it worked out perfectly. And to be honest with you, I think that is the approach. Because realistically, what other fucking game has 800 unique characters in it, 600 unique characters in it that you can customize a 6-man party? There's no other game that has that. The scale. What are you going to do? Add another 200 Pokemon every fucking time?
People were so mad about the national decks leaving, and I was like, oh, well, it's about time. Like I called it before it happened. I'm like, they're not going to program 3D models for like
every fucking
5,000 Pokemon. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
And those people at Game Freak are already way too overworked. Like, I wouldn't even want them to do. I would feel bad. I'd get that game and I'd be like, damn, they got literal blood, sweat, and tears.
You
in this
didn't have to put a Dunsparce in this game in a region that doesn't have a Dunsparce. You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing about that's what makes the world feel legitimate. Is like, first of all, this is a time before, because like narratively it kind of works, right? Where it's like there isn't interregion travel really. I mean, they do kind of have it, but we're really in the era of discovery as far as the Pokemon world is concerned, and so there wasn't like. You can't. There's no PC system. There's no bill there to fucking transport your Pokemon from Cerulean to Goldenrod. There's no. It doesn't. There. So it makes sense that Pokemon are less global in these more ancient times.
Yeah. What did your team look like, out of curiosity?
For
Legends Arceus.
I feel like it changed a lot. I'm always partial to like Ghost Dark Pokemon, like, and usually whatever is the strongest after that, like whatever, and I try to balance my team out. Like I have, things that I prefer and things that I like. I'm trying to think of who exactly was in my team. Were there any? Because I feel like my team changed a shitload during that game.
Mine changed a shitload throughout the game, but by the time I completed the Pokédex, I had at least 5 that just felt like this is... My team felt like a vibe is a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I would swap out Pokemon with a different Pokemon in order to fit my aesthetic.
Yeah, okay.
It was a very different way to play Pokemon, but it's just the way I naturally wanted to go about things playing this new type of Pokemon game. Because, first of all, I picked Cyndaquil in the beginning.
Hell yeah.
But
real ones pick Cyndaquil.
I eventually just kind of abandoned my Hisuian Typhlosion.
Okay. That was one of my favorite redesigns, like for the...
I feel like they could have gone out, like all out a bit more on a ghost Typhlosion, in my opinion. He just kind of looked like a little emo dude. When
his flames aren't out, he does look a little weak. But when he's like fully flared, I like the design.
I would want to see him more vicious looking as a ghost type is a thing.
Yeah, that's also that's fair.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Kind of just like a palette swap of the regular Typhlosion.
Yeah, so like what I wanted is I wanted Hisuian Zoroark.
Okay,
And I didn't want 2 ghost types on my team, and Hisuian Zoroark was just cooler and fit the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Because Scizor felt more like my starter for some reason than my Typhlosion did. It was just all about me and my Scizor, and I was decked out in like black mask over my face and goggles over black goggles. Like
Yeah, nice.
I just had like this blacked out, like you couldn't see my face. I had like this ninja ponytail sticking up, red hair, red ninja outfit, and I just looked so good next to a Scizor, dude. I went in the little photography thing and put me posing with the Scizor, and it looked so sick.
Yeah.
And like, so who's gonna go with me and my iconic Scizor?
Right.
So Hisuian Zoroark, I like that. And then I threw in Lucario, and then I threw in
Lucario's fucking dope.
Yeah, and even though he doesn't fit the theme, I had an alpha Electivire that just I named him Buzz, and he was just big hulking snow.
I did really like the
Yeti
addition of alpha Pokemon in this game, because just getting a fucking, I had a Machamp that I think I had for most of my, because I got him as a, or was it Machamp, and what the fuck is it? Machamp's the first one.
Machoke, and Machamp.
Yeah, Machoke. I caught him as an alpha Machoke, and then I, eventually evolved him into Machamp. And so I had him for like a long time. He was probably the most long-standing member, because I was just like, dude, he's like fucking 7-8 feet tall. That's fucking awesome. That's so cool. That this giant fucking hulking fuck is just on my team. I love it. It's so awesome. And like to watch them battle too is just like, that game was fucking amazing. It was great.
It would give me OCD if a Pokemon that felt like it should be smaller than my Electivire was alpha. Like my Lucario was an alpha Lucario for a while, so I swapped him out with a regular Lucario, because I didn't feel like Lucario should be twice the size of my Scizor. it just fucked with my OCD. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see companies doing more of what the fans want them to do, because I see a lot of we'll branch out a bit more often. We've been talking about Pokemon for a while. Sorry for all the people who don't like Pokemon. But, I mean, this can bring us into a topic of conversation for where game development's heading. Because you see so many companies doing just what's going to make them the most money.
Yeah.
So I was glad to see that we had a game like Legends Arceus that wouldn't sell anymore, but it had a lot more put into it. See, I've been playing a lot of Fall Guys, and I love it. It's a fun little party game to play with my homies.
Yeah.
And but it's got a battle pass, and just like Fortnite started, and Halo Infinite, that's got a battle pass. I just want the Halo Reach credit system, but I can't get that because everything has a fucking battle pass, and it feels like that's just where everything is heading, because that's what makes money. Yeah. And I find myself not spending a penny on any of these battle passes. All I do is play. I play the game, and I look like a default character the whole time with a few little free accessories, and I just go through looking like that, and like just, oh my God, I just want to go back to the days where I could keep playing to grind for cool shit.
Yeah.
And like, I can't do that anymore. Like, it's been stripped away from me.
Look, a classic fucking gaming experience that I feel like everybody at one point at least dabbled with is RuneScape.
Oh, I loved RuneScape.
And I don't know how much what it is like now, but historically, was like that game, right? Where you could just get on there, and there was a pass, but you could, a membership. Yeah, there was a membership. Yeah, not a pass. I guess the term pass wasn't being used like that back then. But yeah, a membership. So there was a membership, but a game that definitely, like, if you had the time and you really put in the hours to grind, like, you could, you would reap the rewards, for your efforts. Your efforts would bear fruit for sure. Yeah,
like, it sucks knowing that one day I'm gonna have kids who won't be able. Like, did you play the old Halos?
Yeah, I like when the Master Chief Collection came out, I played through the first Halo again, because it had been for so long. But I have I never was like a huge Halo fan, but like I've played all of the
I was a huge Halo fan. I read the novels.
Oh boy, okay.
Yeah.
I did know like a lot of people that actually did do that, but it just never. I never owned an Xbox, so it was very like I would play it with other people. Have been faithfully with PlayStation until I started PC gaming, but my console DNA makeup is mostly of the PlayStation variety.
Mm-hmm. See, I feel like video games are such a such a beautiful thing when you really take it out of the connotation of a video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you look at our lives, our reality, as a place, as just like for you to experience things. In what reality can you experience a video game? You know what I mean? Because we could live in any random of infinite different possibilities of lives.
Yeah.
And we are sitting there so immersed, doing something that feels so fun and rewarding and satisfying. And it's truly something that I feel is on a higher dimensional scale of experience from the way I see it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like anyone really looks at it like that. I feel like, everyone's just like, oh, you play your video games. Sure. Go ahead and do something that doesn't matter. It's like, that's the art of it,
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Learn how to shoot up a school.
Yeah.
Play Doom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of school shootings, do you want to talk about shootings?
Which
current
shooting?
Well, the most recent one was the 4th of
one in
July
Akron?
one.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too much about that one.
Yeah.
I guess I was drunk on the 4th of July, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, gun control, man. I don't personally know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I do think that it's healthy for people to have their own guns for the same reasons that the founding fathers wanted us to.
Yeah.
If our government starts getting Holocausty, so to speak.
Yeah. And I think that nobody wants to take away guns, but the thing is that, opting to do nothing is a non-response to what's happening with guns. To just be like, well, what can you do? Well, what the fuck? I don't know. We our taxes go to pay for politicians who just sit in a room and actively make our lives worse. Maybe if they just put that energy into trying to make our lives better, those people who are supposed to be responsible for coming up with systems and laws to do things like curb school shootings, like it seems like that should be a pretty prevalent, like a thing that should be like number one on the top of their list. But realistically, important. It's like they're like, well, on the topic of gun control, and everybody in the room goes nay, and then it just passes on. Somebody gets in front of Congress and they go, hey, I watched my little brother get his head blown off 10 feet in front of me at our elementary school. Is there something we could do about that? And then they all look at the kid and they go, you're a fucking communist. And that's the discourse. That's that's the conversation about guns in America, and that's how it goes. And that's fucked up. That's pretty sad.
Yeah, I feel like we got to do something. Another thing we also could be doing that would help with that outside the realm of gun control would be just making better lives for everyone, so we don't have these kids grow up in loveless families that feel inferior and insignificant, dying for attention, that feel the need to shoot up a parade or a school.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's actually the bulk of it. Like, there's a lot of gun control we could be doing too. But, like, we also need to take a step back and think, like, are we happy? Are the kids that we're raising in our generation, like, actually in a fit environment? And if not, you're going to not do anything about that and then force us to have kids, you're asking for more shootings.
Yeah. Yeah, you're asking for more shootings, and yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that the Hadron Collider killed the universe where school shootings happen in. I think that unfortunately that one carried on. So we should definitely do something
Well,
about
we don't
that.
know that because that was just yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
We haven't had a big shooting yet.
Okay, so
we'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll remember this day, and if no other school shootings happen, you're welcome. I guess we brought that one into reality. I know we didn't really have anything to do with it, but we're making you aware of it right now. So you're welcome for the knowledge.
You better be thanking us.
Yeah, for this hour and 45 minutes of pure fucking audio gold.
Dude, we did a good job. This is my longest episode yet.
Yeah, this is a marathon of an episode. I'm glad we really got to talk about all of the important things currently going on.
I think we did. We talked about all the important current things that people are thinking about.
Yeah.
And more.
Coffee gangs. Abortions. And what other Pokemon and other esoteric themes.
Yeah.
May contain esoteric themes.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit esoteric. Yeah, the esoteric was kind of sprinkled throughout, I feel.
Yeah, we did. That one was pretty much, I feel like that was a heavy hitter just throughout. That was the underlying topic of everything that we really, because what is, I mean, we're all here, so we're going to be everybody's, what's my esoteric is, somebody else's fucking PhD.
Yeah.
So.
There you go. All right. Well, that about wraps things up here for this episode of Thought Frenzy. Thank you, everyone, for joining in and listening. I appreciate you all and love you all very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff.
And buy Youngstown Coffee.
And also, if you'd like, you could always donate to my Patreon at patreon.com/thoughtfrenzy. That's for monthly donations. I also have a little site for one-time donations on Ko-fi.com. That's ko-fi.com/thoughtfrenzy. I'll have all the links in the description below. Most importantly, though, I hope you all take care, unwind, enjoy your night, have very good dreams tonight, and I love you, and I'm going to give you a little smooch.
And if you have lovers, love them.
Yeah. Love them. And love their love for you. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.